Hello, Internet. Chris Krug here at the nextMEDIA conference in Banff. I'm with Leila Boujnane from Idee. Leila was just on the top Canadian digital media innovators panel. Tell us a little bit about your talk this morning.
Well, this morning actually was pretty interesting because there were 4 companies on the panel, and we all come from very different backgrounds. And each one of us got to introduce the technology, the company, the communities that we have built, and how we've actually gone about doing that.
I'm super excited about what I've heard about your technology. So you have an image search engine?
Exactly. So basically what we just launched, well, if you want to know the background, we are a software company, so we don't really deal in content, but we are very busy indexing the world's content, so images and videos. And what we wanted to talk about this morning was our new search engine called TinEye. And what the search engine does is pretty much what Google does for text. So instead of giving it a keyword or a word to search for, you actually give it an image. So you give it an image and it shows you where that image has appeared online. And it does that in real time, and it also does it using image recognition. So there's no tag, there's no file name, there is nothing, just the image.
So I'm a photographer. I have 20,000 photos online, so obviously you can see why I'm so excited. So the idea is I can take my photos that I have online, point them at your search engine, and it will return back to me results, other images of the same stuff?
It would return back to you images, your own images, and how they have been used and how they have been modified. So you can actually say, I don't know, if you shoot a lot of celebrities, if you shoot, photographs of things that are of interest, like, graffiti, holidays, whatever, those photographs are online, and then you'll be able to actually see where they are being used. So those exact images, but except modified, and how somebody ultimately used them.
Great. So when you're out there indexing the web, when you're indexing the videos and indexing photos, what type of data are you collecting? Google takes keywords and does some association. What type of data are you collecting to make the matches?
We only collect the image, and that's the only thing that we actually care about. So we collect the image and the image location, because obviously once we actually perform the search, we have to actually point you back to where that image came from. We don't collect anything that has to do with the surrounding of the image, like text or descriptions. That's actually not useful to our image recognition engine. So just images, just video. So and we've only indexed, just a small tiny thing to remember, we've only indexed a little bit of the internet, so like close to 500 million images right now. Our next release is going to have 1 billion images in the index, and we are basically on target to get to 10 billion images.
Where are the images coming from that you're indexing today?
Pretty much the same way Google does it. So we crawl. So we constantly crawl. So if you imagine a website and a web page, our crawlers go out there, they identify an image, we basically, crawl that image, index it with our technology, so we can create the fingerprint to be able to actually, search for it later on. So it's exactly the same principle, just large-scale crawling.
Things like copyright and intellectual property protection come up as a use for this. Talk to me about some of the uses that you kind of foresee for an image or video search engine like this.
Well, we have seen lots of uses. I can tell you about one that I actually just got onto my BlackBerry this morning. A professional photographer that's a struggling photographer in the US, who actually for the first time ever just uploaded one of his images just to see if TinEye actually works, and he found his image used on the cover of a CD album from a band in Europe.
Wow.
And he never saw that. He didn't actually even realize that had happened, and he was very curious, so he actually contacted them, sent them the snapshot, and said, hey, this is my image. Do you guys realize it's my image? And they just turned around and said, well, we didn't know where it came from, and we'd like to license it. They licensed it.
That's great.
He turned out to actually like what the band plays, and he just actually sent us a note saying, by the way, I'm sending some love to you guys, because if I hadn't used or even tried the search engine, I wouldn't have found that. So that falls into the category of, I'm searching for my images, I want to know who's using them. But we have lots of other categories. We have people who would like to find out which images are selling. So they'll look at, here are some of my images. I'll search and look at, where they have appeared. But that's because I sell through a network, and basically
like a Getty Images or something
like
that?
Getty Images or Corvus Images or any of the large, photo agencies. And the challenge is that they actually don't return back usages to you. So they'll call you or send you an email or send you, a tear sheet that says this image was licensed to such and such magazine to illustrate such and such thing. They actually just pay out, the commission to you, and that's about it. Like, you don't really have a good idea of where things are appearing. So to me, that actually introduces an incredible transparency for the photographer. There's no more wall that divides them from who's actually consuming what they have produced. So that can be used not for copyright infringement, but just understanding the market that you operate in. What's selling, what's not, how's it being used. We have researchers. One of the greatest examples we had a couple of weeks ago was from someone who has an extremely large image collection from World War II. And in that image collection, from the of the arrival of troops in Normandy, there was one single image that had a US soldier in that image, and that person was not identified. No one knew her name. So what he actually did was upload the image collection that he had, literally one by one, because we don't have an upload facility right now. And he found that image, the lady's image, referenced in a historical book, and was able to actually locate her first name, last name, the group of soldiers that she came with, which was pretty amazing, because for us this really is about, how do you make visual content searchable for whatever you need it to be. So if it's, tagging your content, finding people, selling images, copyright, or just simply understanding, like curiosity.
So the image search engine is online today?
It's online. It's at TinEye.com. So that's TinEye.com. And everyone asks, why TinEye and what's the story behind that? Well, there isn't a very big story. We registered the site a long time ago. We have a little robot in the office, and his nickname is TinEye. And we are big fans of robots. So that's actually how it ended.
Who isn't a big fan of robots?
I don't know. Some people aren't. We love them. Old robots, new robots, styrofoam robots. I mean, that's awesome.
So how do you use the internet personally? What do you like to do online?
I do actually everything. I am an amateur photographer, so I actually take a lot of photographs. I comment on people's photographs because I actually only came to photography fairly recently, so that 2 years ago. And I have taken the worst pictures on the planet. I mean, you'd think, with even a single click that I would be able to get a shot that's half decent. No. So what I did initially was put my work out there and say, somebody please help me. Lots of people out there know how to do this. What do I need to learn? And I've just learned, change cameras and got lenses and just started learning how to actually take good photographs.
What other people like, what appeals to people, and how to compose photos that are attractive to other people.
Well, especially if you are, not as visual as a lot of other people, you look at your work and then you just think, oh my God, this is horrible. And you look at somebody else's work and you go, this is absolutely stunning. But it's not a miracle. I mean, they have to work to set up what they are doing, and you have to learn to see that when you're actually looking for something to shoot. So building communities, teaching how to use certain things, explaining how things work, that's something that I have always used the internet for. And, migrating, I'm in the software industry, so migrating towards, little pockets in the industries where we share information about how to build a company, what to do, what mistakes to avoid. So it really is the backbone of everything that we do today.
Last question, what's your online guilty pleasure?
Flickr.
Oh yeah, I'm a big Flickr user. Every day?
Oh yes, absolutely.
What do you participate in any groups or anything there?
I participate in the graffiti group. So I am actually a big graffiti fan, and I actually do a lot of graffiti photography everywhere I go, and that's something that I really enjoy. And what's really great about it is that you get to see things that you would never really see unless you were there. And even when you go there, say you go to, Paris or Montreal or Berlin, you still have to know where the pockets of great graffiti is, and that's going to take time to research. With Flickr and the community that's built there, I actually know where it is already, and I can go and look at it myself, which is pretty awesome.
I'm a huge Flickr user too, and I like to shoot graffiti as well, so let's be friends, okay?
Awesome.
All right, Kris and Leila signing out from BAM. Over and out, Internet.
Thank you.